Hello everyone. Today we have with us Bhawana Keshwani ma'am. Ma'am has graduated from Law College Dehradun in 2019 and has recently cleared the SEBI Grade A Examination. Ma'am, we are very glad you could join us here to share your journey with us. So without any delay, let us get started with the session. Ma'am, could you please briefly introduce yourself to the audience?
Sure. Thank you, Niharika, for having me on your platform. I graduated from Law College Dehradun in the year 2019, and then I started working as a legal consultant with Make My Trip India Private Limited. However, in the year 2020, I realized that I wanted to explore other options in the government sector, and that's how I started preparing for exams in the regulatory space, where I came across this opportunity in the Securities and Exchange Board of India. So then I started preparing for it thoroughly. And in the year 2022, I qualified for the prelims, but unfortunately, I couldn't qualify for I gave the mains, but I did not qualify for the third round. That's the interview. And so I realized that now I have to give my 110% to this exam and then get through to the next recruitment. So this is here, like in 2023, I finally qualified all the three rounds and made it to the list.
That's awesome. That's great to hear, ma'am. Could you tell us about the structure of this exam and what strategy did you apply for each stage?
Okay, so the structure is first there is prelims, which is divided into two parts. The first part is a qualifying phase where you need to get at least 30%, and that comprises of four sections: GK, English, quantitative aptitude, and reasoning ability. To have 30% to qualify the prelims stage. And then the second part of the prelims itself is your legal section, where the entirely all the questions are from the legal stream itself. So it comprises of all the core subjects and also includes subjects like corporate and securities law. So overall, the cutoff margin for the prelims is 80. So it's 30 in the part one of the paper and rest 50 in legal. So anybody who gets 80 qualifies for the mains. And the mains is actually a very bulky part of the entire exam. And given the fact that this time the syllabus was changed right when the notification released, so there was a lot of reshuffling in subjects, and also a entirely new section, that is the descriptive section, was introduced. So in the previous attempts, what we just had to give an objective exam that was of 100 marks exam, but this time it was 70 objective and 30 marks descriptive, and entirely new slot of regulations were introduced this time. So it was a very difficult as well as a very everybody was on the same level when it came to changes in the syllabus, because all of us were preparing for a very long time, and it came as a surprise to all of us, but it went well. And the third stage is, of course, the interview.
Right. So, ma'am, how different was your prelims interview and preparation experience different from the mains?
In prelims, actually, I would like to highlight here that the mistake that I made in my previous attempt was that I over prepared for prelims, and then I couldn't give my 100% to the mains. So gradually, when I started, comparing my strategy and seeing what others did, so I talked to some of my seniors and mentors, and then took their advice, and I got to know that if prelims is just a qualifying paper, then there needs to be a balance in between both these sections. So then I started comprehensively preparing for mains, and that would help me this time in the descriptive section too, because if somebody would have prepared, at the last moment, then it would have been an hazel. So preparing it, thoroughly preparing your main subject for a longer period of time is now at this moment more important because of the change in the pattern of the exam. So it's no more objective where either you know or you don't know. In descriptive, you'll have to holistically see the question and see what are the major points you want to write, and that to type. It's not even like written. So in SEBI, what happens is that we have to type it on a keyboard. and it's very difficult because we are all used to typing on our laptops, and the keys that are in our laptops are very user friendly, but when it comes to those old age computers, it becomes like a problem. So the best way forward is right before the exam, start typing those keyboards. Bring in an old keyboard and just start on it, so that your fingers are accustomed to that kind of an environment, because all the students are going to type, so that noise and then that pressure, so just keep in mind and prepare accordingly.
Ma'am, you mentioned you did not have any financial regulations or securities law as a subject in your curriculum during law school. So, how did you manage studying these subjects from the scratch during your preparation for this exam?
Okay, so when initially I started preparing, I also had this fear in me, because compared to the curriculum in other tier 1 law schools, we I did realize that we did not even have like a basic understanding of it. So when I started, what I did was, okay, seeing the syllabus is one part of the thing, but then I started seeing that what does this organization actually do. So I started seeing their websites and I saw the newsletters. And it's not like, you have to mug everything up. I just started looking into basic what the law firm partners are posting on LinkedIn, what they're writing on, newspapers, anything that you feel comfortable with. So I just started gaining knowledge of how this entire organization works, like what is the need of a regulatory framework first of all, and how everything works, how does it impact other organizations. So that's how I started. And when it came to actually mugging up the regulations and everything, what helped me was, I was very comfortable in making flashcards. So I used a app called Brainspace, and I started typing on it. I made my own question, I wrote my own answer, one liner. So every time I didn't feel like studying it from the books, even if when I had my laptop with me or iPad with me, what I used to do was just see those flashcards. So they randomly appear on your screen, and you can revise it multiple times. So if somebody has time and has this problem, because I keep forgetting stuff a lot, so for revision thing, I maintained flashcards for almost all subjects, and this helped me in retaining the sections also, because this time a lot of sections were asked from various subjects ranging from IPC to company law, and this helped me, actively recall in the exam a lot more better.
That is indeed a very helpful tip. Thank you for that. So, ma'am, you mentioned you cracked this exam in the second attempt. So, what can you tell about the shift in your perspective while attempting this exam this year?
I would say it is fear. So I started, when I cracked prelims in the last year, and by a very less margin, I couldn't qualify mains. And I started talking to people who did qualify. I understood that I was, over, thinking about it, that it may happen, it might not happen. And from 2022, I thought that I would give my 200% to this, because this is what I want for me. So I don't have any second option in my mind, and I'm going to give 100% to this particular exam. And I felt a lot more confident, because I constantly kept telling myself that this is what I want. I don't want to go anything for anything else. So if I erased all the options from my mind, this is what I have currently, and I'm going to give everything to this exam. And caveating from this view, I would say that many of the aspirants have a lot of issues with it, because I've seen people preparing for multiple competitive exams, which is practically a great way. That should practically be someone's strategy. But I would suggest that don't blindly follow the success stories of people. Everybody has their own life path, everybody has their own struggles, their weaknesses and strengths. You know what is your strength, and you know what is your weakness. So when once you identify that, and you make up your mind and just accept it, like wholeheartedly, that this is where I am, and this is what I can do. I can't do all the things that other people are doing. And that's when your mind will have clarity, and you will give your 100% to one thing. That's what I followed. I was like, I'm not at one time.
Yes, it was going to be my next question, that it is a natural instinct to have a plan B in place. So what do you believe? So you mentioned you did not have a plan B. So what do you think about it as an objective question? Should one have a plan B in place?
I think practically one should have. So plan B should be something that, okay, if I fail, then I have something else. So I had a corporate experience. I knew that if I apply my CVs to places, I'm going to get in the corporate sector or the private sector. I will get there. So that clarity of mind I had. But then at the time I was preparing, I did not let myself overburden with the thoughts that, oh, I should give judiciary, oh, I should appear for, some other exam, or people are, practicing. I am not practicing. What is going to happen? For that 1 year, I shut my mind. I just did it for myself. So I'm not advising, all the other people also to do it, but identify what is your emotional intelligence. If you are okay with going with three options and then cracking all the three exams, good enough. Many people do it, but I knew for myself that I'm comfortable with chasing this particular option because I'm determined for it. This is what I have practically thought for so long, so I'm going to give it my 200% and just be happy if I qualify, be happy if I don't qualify.
Right. Ma'am, what were the challenges that you faced during your preparation? And how did you deal with the anticipated and the unanticipated challenges that came your way during the exams?
Okay, so all of us are humans. Obviously, a lot of time, there's a negative chatter in our mind. So, what I did was this time I started collaborating with different people. It need not be people who are just preparing for SEBI. So, there are multiple platforms where we were preparing for different exams. So, I knew that, okay, I need some help with certain subjects which I'm not comfortable with. I used to ask them. They used to take my help in the corporate subjects which I was comfortable with. So that way what happened was that environment of competition wasn't there. We were collaborating, two three of us, and it was like even if one person is not feeling pumped up or motivated, the other person was always there to guide each one of us that, okay, no, you have to get back on track, just do it. So that way I would say that, if you're feeling, because it is very normal when we are at home, away from college, uh, many times is, societal expectations or family expectations, when your peer group is doing something great, so it happens. So I eliminated one thing was social media, because I didn't want any negative chatter in my mind comparing myself constantly to people. And second, having this collaboration with a small group of people, that helped me a lot to navigate the challenges that came across.
Yes, it is have a small community that I would say to help you collaborate than compete, because being a student myself, I can relate to that very much. So, ma'am, what would be the
Yes.
one advice you would like to give to the students who are aspiring to crack this exam?
Okay, so particularly if I talk about SEBI Grade A exam, then I would say that don't have this fear in mind that, oh, I'm a fresher, I can't do it, or people are doing it in their second attempt. I might as well not do it, because there are many freshers this time who've cracked it in their first attempt itself. So even if you're a student and you're preparing it while you are in college, I would say just go with it and be persistent. Have clarity in your mind that why do you want to join SEBI? Because even if you qualify prelims and mains, once you go to the interview round and you sit there before a panel of five people, they see your face and realize that is there a motivation or not. You just can't say anything in front of them that, oh, I was passionate about it. Those words don't work there. I have experienced it.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much for this insightful session. I'm sure it is going to be very useful at our audience members. I, on behalf of YLCC, thank you very much for agreeing to be here for this session and wish you the very best for your journey ahead. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you.